Hey, welcome back to the channel. So the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 is certainly a unique device with that inner screen that unfolds basically into a tablet, and just that alone makes it pretty versatile. But I want to talk about some other uses that make this one of the most versatile devices that I have ever used. Of course, we're going to talk about it in phone mode, we're going to talk about it in that tablet mode, but I also want to talk about using it as a laptop replacement and also using it as a desktop. Now for each of those sections, any hardware I used, I'll mention that and have it linked down in the description. And if you have any questions along the way, make sure you leave those down in the comment section. So let's get right into this. So first, let's talk about just using this as a phone. Now, you probably know these phones have an outer screen and then a foldable inner screen. So we're going to talk about this, leaving it folded just as you would a regular phone. Now, that outside screen is a 6.2-inch AMOLED display. It's got a resolution of 2316 by 904 and it has a 402 ppi. Now it is 120 hertz refresh on the Z Fold 4, as is the inner screen. Now this screen is great, it's very bright, very vibrant, but it is a little narrow, and for somebody like me that has kind of fat hands, typing on that screen is kind of hit and miss. I've tried using the built-in Samsung keyboard, I've used the Google keyboard and a few other third-party ones, and it's just a little bit difficult for me to type things out on that narrow front screen, but it is usable, and a lot of times I'll use the phone just with that front screen, not even open it up. Above that screen is a 10 megapixel cover camera that you can use as a selfie camera, and that takes pretty good shots, but if you want really good pictures, you can use the cameras on the back. So there's 3 lenses that make up the camera assembly on the back. There's a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 50 megapixel wide angle lens, and a 10 megapixel telephoto camera. All the photos and video look fantastic from this phone. It's a great camera on the back. Camera on the front is not a bad selfie camera, but for anything serious, you're going to want to use those rear cameras. So now we're going to talk about the Z Fold 4 in what I consider tablet mode. That's with that inner folding screen opened up to give you access to that beautiful internal 7.6-inch dynamic AMOLED display. It has a resolution of 2176 by 1812, 374 ppi, and up to 120 hertz refresh. This is a fantastic screen, very fluid, very vibrant. The blacks are deep. It's great for consuming media or playing games like I mentioned. Now it does have that fold down in the center of the screen, but honestly, as you're using this, you don't really notice it. It's only when you fold it and unfold it that you realize it's there. When you're consuming media, browsing the web, doing whatever you're doing on the device, you don't really notice that fold at all. Now with the screen unfolded and using it in tablet mode, it is a fantastic experience. Now granted, this is a little bit small if we're considering this a tablet at this point, but just the fact that you have something that can fit in your pocket and then unfold into this bigger screen, there are so many uses for it. I mean, right now for this video, I'm using it here to remote control my camera. I have this little kickstand case and it works great for that. Like I said, it's great for media consumption if you connect out to cloud services or play any Android apps that have controller support. You can pair up a Bluetooth controller, either Xbox or PlayStation, and play your games just like this. And you can also get some work done just by pairing up a keyboard and mouse. And this kind of segues into using this as a laptop. So let's jump into that section. Now using the Z Fold 4 as a laptop, we have a few different options, and the easiest of which is to just pair up a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. You can get something like this iClever folding keyboard. It has a keyboard and a trackpad. It pairs up by Bluetooth and works great with the Z Fold 4. You can navigate around with the trackpad. The keyboard is very responsive. You can browse the web. If you have Office on there, you can get your office work done, and it works very, very well. So if all you want to do is take your Z Fold 4 and this little folding keyboard, you can have kind of a mobile workstation. But let's make this more laptop-like, and for that, we're going to need another piece of hardware. Now, what I'm specifically talking about is this laptop dock from Nextock. Now, this might look like a laptop, but really it's just a keyboard, a mouse, a screen, and a battery. And you can plug this directly into your Z Fold 4. It goes USB-C to USB-C. The Z Fold 4 will recognize that as a DeX-capable device. And if you don't know what DeX is functionality that's been built into a lot of Samsung phones over the last few versions, where it allows you to use your phone in a desktop interface. This is a much more familiar interface if you're using it as a laptop or a desktop. If anybody that's used Windows or most distributions of Linux or even Mac OS, you'll feel right at home here. It's a very familiar interface, very easy to navigate, and you have access to everything on your phone. And using the Next Dock, it displays DeX on this beautiful 1080p screen. You have full use of the keyboard and mouse, and it works great as a laptop. I use this all the time at a coffee shop or just on the go, and it works very, very well. And the good thing is that you can charge your phone from the battery that's inside the Next Dock. So you get a lot of battery life out of it, a lot of functionality, and it is a great option for using your Z Fold 4 as a laptop. Now, just a reminder, any of the hardware that I talk about in this video, I'll have links down in the description. And now I want to jump into talk about using this as a desktop. Now, we're going to use that DeX functionality like we did with the Next Dock, but this time we're going to use some hardware that allows us to hook it up to a full-size keyboard and mouse and display. Now, what I use is this little CalDigit Soho dock. These are relatively inexpensive and give you a lot of functionality. You just plug this in, you plug it right into your display. You can plug your keyboard and mouse into here, or you can use a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, and now you have an entire desktop setup that's being driven from your very powerful Z Fold 4, and it's amazing everything that you can do on here. I mean, now there's LumaFusion that's available. That's a very feature-rich, pro-level video editor. It's available on Android now. It's been on iOS for a while. And you can edit full 4K video right off your phone using a large screen display, full-size keyboard and mouse. And it really feels like you're using a desktop computer, but it's all being driven from your little Z Fold 4 that you can unhook, fold up, and stick in your pocket. It just blows me away. Now, you don't need a dock to do this. You can hook it from USB-C to USB-C on your monitor if your monitor supports it, or get a USB-C to HDMI cable if you want to do that and hook that up to your display, and then just use a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse hooked directly to your Z Fold 4, and you have the same functionality. Or you can even cast your screen to another device. If you have a device that supports DeX wirelessly, you can cast it wirelessly and then just use a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse and just have do the same setup but with a wireless scenario, and that works pretty well too. There is a little bit of latency when you're doing it wirelessly, of course. For the best experience though, I definitely recommend getting a dock. It just gives you a lot more expandability and functionality, so you can hook up external devices, you can hook in the power and keep it charging while you're using it as a desktop. You can even hook in an external hard drive and access that hard drive directly from the Android operating system. It's a great setup and works very, very well. With everything that the Galaxy Z Fold 4 can do, I honestly believe that a lot of people could use this as their only device, using it as a phone, a tablet, a laptop, a desktop, however you want to use it, wherever you want to use it. It's such a versatile device that it just blows me away at how well it works in all these different scenarios. If you have another way that you're using it that I maybe not have thought of or didn't cover in this video, let me know down in the comment section. I love hearing, the creative ways that people are using these. If you found this useful or informative, hit that thumbs up. If you really liked it, please consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for stopping by.